Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Agent Psycho. This video, as you guys can tell by the title, will be a first impression slash kind of like a review. It might be a little bit preemptive because it's only been out for a day, but I may make another video kind of revising my thoughts on this. But yeah, this is going to be mainly a first impressions video on the new map of Deadly Dunes, so let's get right to it. So, if you guys didn't know, earlier today, hopefully this video goes out the same day as the patch, but earlier today, Nexon released a new game patch, and in it they released, I think, two new things that I know of. I think the full patch notes will come out later. I haven't seen them yet at the time of this commentary. But the two things that I am aware of that are new are the Polish G23 variant, which I did a review earlier today. If you guys didn't see that video, you guys should check it out. And the addition of a new map called Deadly Dunes, which they mentioned in one of their dev posts that they'll be releasing. So, Deadly Dunes, the new map. It's just like I don't really know if Crystal Tower, which was the latest map before Deadly Dunes, I'm pretty sure, was like a revolutionary map. I did say it was very interesting. It did take a quite the twist on what the bread and butter maps of Combat Arms were like. But Deadly Dunes is more a little bit more revolutionary, and I don't really like throwing around the term revolutionary because it's not really revolutionary, but it is very, very interesting. It's kind of like what Dark Forest should have been, except it's not actually shitty. You can just think of it that way. So yeah, if you guys aren't watching the video for some reason, basically the whole premise of Deadly Dunes is the fact that it's a very, very large map. It's comparable to the size of Snow Valley, maybe a little bit smaller, but it is one of the larger maps in Combat Arms. So yeah, big map. The big game mechanic with Deadly Dunes as a map is the fact that it has a kind of like a rolling sandstorm that passes by for the majority of the time that you're out on the map, but every so often there will be a clearing in the sandstorm. Just kidding. This isn't Twitch. What am I doing? But yeah, there will be a kind of like a clearing, like a brief, like half a minute or so, where you have perfect visibility in the sandstorm. There's like a gap in the sand clouds, and you can see basically across the map almost perfectly, in fact. But the majority of the time that you're playing on the map, your vision will be blocked by a very, very thick sandstorm that basically won't let you see past maybe around 30-40 meters at tops. So you really have to rely on either your sound, if you have a good sense of sound, you can sound horn really well, then you'd have to rely on your sound horn, because sounds in Deadly Dunes is actually very, very different from what you'd hear in other maps. For example, you guys may know what bullets sound like when they ping off metal and other obstacles like that on other maps. Well, the majority of the time, the only metal that bullets are ever gonna hit on Deadly Dunes as a map are the tanks that are out in the middle of the that are scattered around the middle of the map that serve as cover for you as you move up the map to the other team spawn. So, basically, what I'm trying to say is the majority of the time, bullets, when they are fired at you by other opponents, obviously, they'll hit the sand, and they're going to sound a lot different from what bullets would normally sound like when they hit metal. And if you guys listen, actually, I don't think I'll be able to put up the game audio with it, but if you guys go and play on Deadly Dunes and get shot at by someone, or if you have a teammate shoot at you for that matter, you will notice that it actually sounds a lot different. It sounds like someone's running, like right next to you. So if you do hear like a lot of like pats against the sand, I guess, for lack of a better term, you may have to be careful, or you should be careful, because someone might be shooting at you. So just keep that in mind. That and running on sand, obviously, it sounds a lot different from running on just platforms or wood or metal. So you're gonna have to be careful of that as well, because in case someone is running up towards you, you have to keep a good ear out for that, because it's very difficult to hear that. So ambient sound on the map Deadly Dunes is a very, very tricky thing, and the people who understand how sound works on that map are going to be the people who are going to be more successful more quickly playing on Deadly Dunes. So just keep in mind, sound is a big factor while you're playing on Deadly Dunes. Another thing that I want to mention is the fact that the whole mechanic, like going back to the mechanic of the sandstorm rolling in and covering your visibility. This we've seen this before. Obviously, Snow Valley has a little bit of it. It's not like thick fog or anything, but your visibility does kind of start to cut out when you start getting too far away. For example, if you are sniping at, I think it's Alpha Sniper Hill, and you're looking at all the way at the sniper tower in the middle of Snow Valley, then obviously you can't really see them. You see the guys on the sniper tower all too well. I mean, you can see the silhouette, yes, but you can't really see them very clearly. And yeah, on Deadly Dunes you just can't see people at all because the visibility is so crap. Basically the only reliable way to see people across the sandstorm is to kind of scroll your mouse wheel, or not your mouse wheel, when I'm talking about your crosshairs, over the horizon and see if your crosshairs turn red or flash with someone's IGN over it, or their in-game name, so you can see them. Always say, hey, look, someone's over there. Like, I see their in-game name, and you can follow them. Other than that, though, you're not going to really be able to see someone. And if you don't take the precautions to kind of sweep the area, scan the sandstorm a little bit to see if you can see other people's in-game names, then obviously you're not going to really be able to see anyone all too well. So also another thing just keep in mind there. Overall, I think the map is a very fun map. Like I said, it's what Dark Forest should have been if it wasn't such a shit map. And part of the reasons why I think that way is because Deadly Dunes is a bright map. Usually, people like playing on brighter maps because they obviously let them see better. Dark Forest obviously isn't a bright map. It's a very dark map, as the name would imply. Dark Forest, hello. But yeah, that's one of the main reasons why Dark Forest wasn't a popular map. In fact, it's one of the shittiest maps out there. No one really plays it anymore. And the fact that Deadly Dunes, a lot of people are playing it right now. Back when Dark Forest was released, even on day one when it was first released, not a lot of people were playing on it because people realized, hey, this isn't such a great map to play on because we can't see anything. So the fact that a lot of people are playing Deadly Dunes right now on day one, kind of gives a nod towards the fact that it's obviously a more successful map right off the bat than Deadly Dunes was. So yeah, brightness does make or break a map in that sense. So let's see. Another reason why I think Deadly Dunes is doing better than other kind of like environmentally obscured maps is the fact that there is a break in the whole, oh, there's a sandstorm rolling in, because I don't think any other map has like a mechanic where there's a kind of like a window, window time frame. What's the phrase I'm looking for here? Like a time frame, yeah, like a window of opportunity where you have like a little bit of time that you can actually see perfectly through the storm or whatever, whatever that may be. So that's another reason why I think Deadly Dunes is going to do better as a map overall, because it lets people kind of have a breather and be able to have the little opportunity where, okay, I can use this bit of time to look across the map, check my surroundings, see if there's anyone around me or whatever, and yeah, obviously people, as much as, sneaking around a sandstorm, kind of playing all stealthy like, sneaky beaky like, to give a nod towards Counter-Strike, is maybe fun for some people. Obviously, not everyone enjoys like being stuck in a sandstorm and not being able to see jack shit in front of them for like the entire time. So having that half minute, 30 seconds or so of being able to see very clearly, obviously gives a lot of people a breather, and that's what people like. So yeah, I agree with that mechanic. So I don't think there should be anything wrong with that. Of course, that's just my personal opinion. Anything else I could say? Again, just to go back to the whole sneaky peeky like thing, this map does favor people who really love to play sneaky. If you're like one of those people who really love to play really sneaky, you don't really like head-on engagement like I do, and instead you really like to flank people and come up with creative ways to get around people and sneak up on people, then Deadly Dunes is a perfect map because you got that sandstorm. You got the sandstorm to give you a lot of cover and give you a lot of options to run around, see what kind of flank routes there are, and ultimately just come up with creative ways to kill people. And yeah, obviously you do have that little window where you can't really run around too much because everyone's going to see you because the sandstorm is going to cover you for too long. But most of the time you should be able to enjoy just running around at your free will. And if the enemy team, if you notice that the enemy team isn't paying attention to the surroundings, then you can take advantage of that, sneak up on them, and just knife them in the back or something, as you guys might see in this gameplay. So yeah, it's for people who love to play sneaky, then this map is basically perfect for you. You do need to play smart though, because if people are aware of their surroundings and kind of do what I suggested earlier in this video, where they scroll their crosses across the horizon, they will be able to see you and they will lock into your position. A little bit easier than you might expect. So just do be careful of that, because people. If they're smart enough, they can catch on to what you're up to, and they'll ruin your day. They'll basically wreck you. So just be aware of that. And let's see, other tips that I could give for Deadly Dunes as a map. Submachine guns aren't that great on this map. Obviously, and submachine guns aren't really good on long maps in general. But yeah, just submachine guns, don't bring them. They're not too useful. I know people bring P90TRs a lot, and I mean, if you're gonna bring a good submachine, I guess you should bring the P90TR, because that's basically the only submachine that you can really do to make anything happen on a map like Deadly Dunes. But mostly just bring assault rifle, sniper rifle. That should basically be it for what you should bring. Assault rifle and sniper rifle combination. Preferably, you should bring like a long range AR, like G36. LA5 mod or something like that. Something that has a sniper rifle scope on it. Maybe I've seen a couple people running around with the M417 SP or the Rec 7 Rangers. So anything like that is good, obviously. Or anything with an ACOG, M416 ACOG. That's also great too. Just try not to bring ITEC guns, unless of course it's a M416 CQB. Then obviously it's M416 CQB. You can bring that anywhere, anytime. But just make sure to be able to bring assault rifle, sniper rifle. Try to avoid the submachine guns unless you really want to bring like P90 or something like that, and you should be good. Other than that, though, obviously smoke grenades aren't going to really be too useful because you already got the Sandstorm. You don't really need to worry about bringing a smoke grenade or anything like that. So you can go easy on the equipment there, but another game mechanic with the whole Deadly Dunes map is the fact that you will have like foxholes that you can take cover in if taking cover behind tanks isn't really an option. So it kind of reminds me of other maps and common maps such as Sandhog, or the environment, like the ambient feel of it anyway, and Desert Thunder, I think, the Fireteam map. And if you guys have ever played Arma, Wasteland Arma 2, the map kind of gives the whole Azargabad map feeling. So where you're basically fighting in the middle of the desert. There's a lot of hills, or sand dunes, obviously, and there's a couple foxholes here and there. Again, if tanks aren't an option for you to take cover behind, then hiding inside the foxholes is probably a good idea too, because people don't really check the foxholes too often. So if you just crouch in there and let people pass by you, especially if you're in the middle of the sandstorm, then you can just let people pass you and then knife them in the back or something like that, or do whatever you feel like doing. So, with that being said, the foxholes, because the smarter people will, or the more environmentally aware people will use the foxholes to try to hide in or anything like that. I don't really want to give this tip, but one tip that I can give to people who like running around with mines or whatever. Put a couple mines in the foxholes, especially when the sandstorm rolls over, because when the people try taking cover inside the foxholes, they probably might not see the mines, and they'll step on them and blow up. So yeah, if you want to abuse mines so much, then that's one tip that I can give you guys, is to plant some mines inside the foxholes and hope that someone steps on them, and maybe they will. And I've seen a lot of people, especially in this gameplay, you might see a couple people putting mines like out in the middle of nowhere, like next to tanks. You shouldn't really put mines next to tanks, because they can see that pretty easily, especially because the tanks are kind of on top of little sand dunes, so you'll be able to see the mines on the actual slopes, like the incline slopes, so you'll be able to see them a little bit more easily. If you put them in the middle of the foxholes, then obviously people are not going to pay attention to that, because they're walking down and not going to see what's at their feet, and they stop on them and kaboom, they're dead. So That's another tip that I can give you guys. But overall, that's basically all my first impressions on the map, Deadly Dunes as a whole. They're Yeah, I think that's all I can think of. Again, large map, sandstorm that rolls around, that covers your visibility for the majority of the time, but there are a couple half-minute windows of opportunity where you have, like, perfect visibility across the map. And yeah, oh, one last thing that I would like to mention is the fact that because Deadly Dunes is a large map, and the spawns are set up in such a way that you have a lot of cover around your spawn, and in addition, both sides have kind of like a sniper nest, where I think Bravo's side has a sniper tower that you can just climb up on and snipe people from in case the enemy team is very rush heavy, or full of people who like to rush a lot. And for Alpha team or Alpha side, there is that little sniper the crow nest. I think built into the side of the mountain. There's like like a flight of stairs that leads up to it, and people like to lay mines there because it's easy it's a narrow choke point, and people try to walk up there without blowing up the mines. They'll obviously blow up, step on them, whatever. So you got those sniper nests, and the spawns themselves are also very much so kind of fortified. I know for a fact Alpha Team has a second story where there's like a little sandbag ring, like semicircle there, kind of like the one you see on Snow Valley Sniper Hill. And if you're getting spawn trapped, or if you're in the danger of getting spawn trapped, you can kind of hide up there, I guess, and shoot people from there. And once your team gets rid of spawn campers, or spawn trappers, then you can go ahead and move up. So Deadly Dunes, the one good, if you guys are really afraid of getting spawn trapped, or if you guys are afraid that this map might cater towards spawn trapping in any sense, then I don't think you should really worry about that, because it's really hard to get an effective spawn trap onto Deadly Dunes, because not like 2 towers or anything. So if you're afraid of that, then don't worry. The likelihood of that happening is very low. I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen, like it absolutely cannot happen, but I mean, if you got a good team of rushers and they know exactly how the map plays, now I suppose you could get an effective spawn trap in there, but for the most part, you shouldn't really expect that, because not everyone in other team is not going to be all rushers. Like you're bound to have a couple campers who are there, sitting back in spawn and just being content with just sitting in there, sitting on top of the sniper nest, or stand behind a tank or something like that with sniper rifle. So that should be about it for my first impressions of the Deadly Dunes map. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, let me know what you guys think about the map. I think it's a pretty fun map, just going off 2 or 3 games that I played on it already. And if you guys don't really like it, then I guess that sucks, because for me personally, I know I like to rush a lot, but every once in a while I do like to kind of play very sneaky, and Deadly Dunes is definitely a map that you should play a little bit more sneaky on, because that's just kind of how the map plays out. So anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay. I think it's about 19 minutes long, the gameplay was. And oh yeah, last thing I promise. These games will last a very long time, just because of how the map plays out. If games will last very long, if you guys are doing the daily jobs where you have to sit in game for like an hour or so, then just play a couple games on Deadly Dunes, like Elim 140 kill, game stuff like that. Or maybe even 32-minute Spy Hunt on Deadly Dunes. I think Spy Hunt is available game mode on Deadly Dunes. You just play those, and you should be able to do those, that job in like a couple games, because they take typically a long time, because that's just kind of how the map plays. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys later.
team